Hello everyone, this is Master Viktor Neustroev. So today we decided to play Smith-Morra Rapid Arena. This time a little later than probably everyone was expecting. But well, I was busy during the day, so only today I have some free time and we can play. So I'm ready to play, I'm ready to comment, and we are waiting for more people to join. So right now there are just four players and I'm playing the first game, so against Johnny. Fine, so it's my turn. Let me take. Okay, so knight f6. So the idea of white is to um, speed up his development here. So everything should work well. Okay, e5, we transpose to Smith-Morra, knight d5. I'm not a big fan of Smith-Morra, but well, I can play it. Why not? d4, d4, e6. Then d6 or knight e6, so one of these two moves. Now let's start with this move first. If knight c3 I can take and then try, yes, I think I can take and then I try to undermine the position with d6 move. Take, bishop takes. So it should be approximately equal. I should keep in mind that there can be a Greek gift sacrifice, rook b1. So it's a weird move, actually. This is the first time I see it. I'm sure it's possible. Well, he invites me for queen a5. Queen a5, queen c2. What? Okay, let's castle first. And then a Greek gift sacrifice becomes possible. So bishop h7 is coming. Now I can try this move, queen e5. I also can try e5 move. e5, d5, knight goes that way. Yeah, let's play e5. I like this move. Hmm. So f6, bishop c4 can be played. And if I play queen e5, so no, you cannot take there. Castle, okay, fine. Okay, what then? What then? Take on c3 or not? Let's decide. It seems like a trap. Can also play bishop g4 move, which is interesting. So bishop g4, d takes e5, knight takes e5, bishop h7, king takes h7, queen takes d6. No, queen d6 fails. Yeah, queen d6 fails, of course. Can take there and can take here, so it's in my favor. Okay, so let's do this move. c3 is also vulnerable. Maybe white has something. Oh, I lose on b7, which I missed. Maybe after he takes on b7, I can take on c3. Mhm. Okay, bishop h5. So I can take, which looks quite interesting, but at the same time, I may not take. Keeping the pin because I'm adding pressure right there. So rook b7. Okay, logical. And if I take there, rook b5. Yeah, I missed rook b5. So rook b5, queen c3, bishop d2 fails. So let me take. Oh, it's not, that doesn't fail. Bishop d2 fails because d3 is vulnerable. I can also take on f3 as intermediate move. But I don't like that my bishop is the object of the attack. Okay, bishop h7. And then what, queen v1? Bishop d2. Logical. Okay, bishop f3 now. If queen f3, I trade the queen. So bishop f3, most likely it's gonna be bishop c3. I take on f1. And then there is a pin. But I'm still a piece up. Well, it seems that this is the only move. Oh, then it's a check. Queen b1 is a check, so I missed it. And this is how I lose a queen. So what I can do, I can try f5, I can try bishop f4, queen f4, and then f5, it all fails. Okay, it's a pity, I missed it. So king g8. Okay, king g8. Take, knight b5. Bishop a2, bishop f4 fails, let it be bishop a2. Then rook d5. Mhm. If I play this move, I make a discovered attack. So I can first take there, I think. This is interesting move also. Let me think. Can bishop b2 make sense or not? So this move, bishop moves, bishop h2. Okay, let's try. Okay, bishop c4, so rook goes that way. I can play g6. Another pin. Okay, how to play? Bishop e7, rook e4. Or I can do this. Okay, bishop e7. And bishop e6 doesn't work. Okay, fine. So I take here. Let enemy mate. Okay, fine, I should take it. Yeah, but this is the losing position. So 96 queen e4. Rook f8 was a better move. Well, if I liquidate this pawn, I have some chances to a draw, but it's almost impossible. My knight is restricted, unfortunately. So check, rook a1. Doesn't look like a good idea, but let's try. G7. Hmm. Okay, fine. So it's a losing game. Okay, so I'm playing against Brian. Well, this is how White can speed up his development. Well, I'm not. I don't think that Black makes strongest moves. But let's see. Okay, Queen e2. Rook d1. And let's decide how to continue. Well, knight d5 here makes no sense. Obviously, e5 with the pawn, knight takes, knight takes, knight takes, knight also doesn't look good. Knight b5. Castle just. Okay, so let's play this move. It's another pawn sacrifice. I definitely understand it. However, why did I play so? I have no ideas. So looks like just simply knight h4 and that's it. Well, I want to add pressure on this, so my actual goal was to play bishop f4 here. Well, I don't see what queen b6 is doing here. Maybe my opponent wants knight d4 move. Okay, I can take with a rook because of that. Knight d4 is still playable, but then I just move my queen to d2, let's say. So bishop b3. Well, if so, I just double the rooks. Queen c7. Okay, double the rooks. Knight b5 becomes a threat also. Rook d2 for a while. Okay, but bishop f4, so I create a pin. Oops. Yeah, that was a mistake because I simply blunder on c4. Well, it's not a blunder of a piece, but this is a knight for bishop for a knight exchange, so this is definitely a mistake. So Brian didn't take. I think Brian, you should take. It was a mistake. Do not take it. Now let me retreat. So Black experiences issues with this bishop on c8. This is the biggest problem. Well, this is a mistake. I think I can take it. Let me decide whether I want to take right now or I want to take there first. No, I think I want to take there first and then I take on d7. So this bishop is the main mistake, and actually, because black couldn't develop it to d7, white had some initiative here as a compensation for a pawn. So rook takes d7. So this. Mhm. I think this is the best option. But then I can continue with this move, rook f7. Well, bishop e6 was originally my plan, but this time it doesn't work. So rook f7. I sacrifice the rook and then I try to win it back. Well, no, this is a blunder. Yeah, I think it was losing. Okay, so let's try something else. And 96. So I don't know what white is thinking here, just developing pieces and that's it. So my plan is d6, a6, nothing specific. Bishop b5, what's the purpose? Well, I played automatically, maybe a6 is a logical move. Okay, let's play a6. I don't understand the purpose of this exchange. So knight f6, maybe e5 is the plan. D takes e5, knight e5, and the bishop becomes vulnerable. I can start with g6. If so, this is a problem. Okay, knight f6. I don't think it's a bad move. Mhm. So e5, e5. I can play knight d7 here to stop e5. What else I can do? Well, queen c7 doesn't look good. g6, e5, take, queen takes. It's kind of a problem. Okay, knight d7 to stop e5. Then either e6 in this move or g6. Okay, e5 anyway. Well, bishop f3 looks logical. Knight e5. Mm. So ideally, I should exchange queens in this position. f4 is coming. Well, queen c8. Let's exchange queens. So queen c6. So this is a threat. Yeah, it's a pity with them slow in development. So this move is a must because knight c7 was a problem. Queen c7, this rook was hanging. Well, I could play rook b8 if I wanted, but it seems that this position is better for me. Bishop f4, so attacking my knight. And rook c1 is a problem too. So I have to make a queen move. It should be either queen c4 or queen c2. Which move is better? Queen c4 falls under knight b6 later in the game. So queen c2. If I move my knight, d6 is also vulnerable. Let me keep it in mind. I cannot play this move. I can play knight c6 if I want to. Queen b6. Knight c6 seems to be more logical, of course, but knight c6, queen b6. There is also queen g6 move, not sure what for. I want to play queen c5, but queen c5, rook c1, queen d4, rook takes, king moves, rook c7 check, then I lose material. g5 is interesting, so bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes. No, it's a blunder. e6. Okay, so rook c4, I didn't find anything better than this. Looks a bit suspicious. Queen a7. Since then, I don't know. Yeah, queen a7. So knight c6 makes no sense. There is knight c7 threat. There is rook c1 threat. So f6. I didn't find anything better. b3. I didn't look at this move at all. Then I don't take on b2. That's the problem. I can play queen e2. After rook c1, I can play queen e2, can't I? Yeah, if only I can change places so I can castle and bring my king to a shape. Okay, queen a6. So queen a6, this becomes a threat. Mm, there is knight d3. I don't know. Well, no, there is no knight d3. Okay, g5. Let's follow the plan. F takes. D takes is too risky. F takes. B4. Rook c6, queen b5. So maybe it's not bad. No, it's bad actually. Rook d5. So king f7 seems to... No, wait. The rook is hanging. So rook c4? No. c4 93. Where the rook goes? Rook c8. Mm-hmm. Okay. e4. b7. I cannot lose it. Uh-huh. It doesn't work. Yes, I'm one tempo down, so I cannot castle here. Okay, let me do this. Then it's rook c1, and I'm in trouble. So let's save the queen. Queen here. Queen c4 is a problem. Not so huge, actually. Mm-hmm. So show me where is a checkmate. So, well, if you sacrifice on d6, you should see where a checkmate is. Okay, rook goes there. Yeah, looks like I have only one move. Well, even I see a checkmate. It's queen g3 or h3, king h5. Oh yeah, so queen h6 is checkmate. Okay, this time I have to wait for the next opponent. Let me see who please. Oh, Brian is playing the game. Okay, let's see what's going on here. And I'm waiting for the next. So 93. Let me see what's the best way to play against Smith-Morra. So bishop c4, no, 96, d6 is e6. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, it was Elijah Lagazar who suggested playing e6 in this position, and he has a course on Chessable. So I wasn't watching it, but some of his analysis shows that black is fine. However, black should play accurately. 95. So let's play 95. Mm. Interesting. So bishop e7. So I felt that the exchange of these bishops doesn't favor black because of the weakness of d6. So I think either queen d2 or h4 should be played. h4 maybe. Bishop f4. Well, also logical because white controls the d6 square here. I don't understand the purpose of this move. So in my opinion, some development should be played here. So I would suggest queen d2 or queen d2, then rook d1, rook c1, and finally something like knight d5 or maybe just bishop d6. Wait, just this move was played. It's white to move. Let me refresh the page. 95. So what 95 is doing? Okay, so take, and then rook a1, d6, or d6, and then rook a1. So knight to f6. So black didn't accept this sacrifice. Now I think the knight is hanging, so my suggestion is to take on e7, but then this knight takes on e7, and d4 becomes vulnerable. Just doing rook e1 means take, and then castle, but then d6 is still playable, so actually I don't see advantage for white, but it's playable. Or you can take on f6, so white can take on f6, then bishop f6, but this makes no sense at all. So if you have any suggestions, don't hesitate to make a comment. Okay, so those of you who are watching this stream, it's not too late to join. In the description of this stream, there is a link to join our tournament. So white is thinking. Yeah, 97. So, well, it's a logical solution here. Well, this bishop is quite important. At least white has a bishop pair, but now e4 is a problem. If you play e5, you make the bishop back bad and allow the knight to jump to d5. If you play this move, they just simply take. So that's why it's hard to come up with a move. Probably it should be e5 because I don't see any better solution. Then knight goes that way. 100%. And then it's time to retreat with the bishop, and I think d2 is the best position to retreat. What you can try after that is maybe knight g5, knight e4, knight d6. At least it looks logical. Okay, so looks like nobody else wants to play against me. So bishop d2, what else to do? Well, why so? Not bishop g3. Bishop g3, the bishop is tied to this pawn. On d2, the bishop can play on both diagonals. Even bishop d2, queen e1, and bishop a5 becomes a threat. Bishop e3, but what if they take? No, in my opinion, it's definitely a mistake, because then the other knight jumps to d5 at the very least. Well, there is no rush. Black can castle first. So queen d3. Well, what queen d3 does? Well, protecting the pawn, also threatening with this move and with this idea, right? Taking h7. So practically, this is a good move. But how white responds? Yeah, let me refresh. h6. Okay, so h6, there is no knight g5 anymore. Well, it's possible to play knight d2, knight e4, and knight d6, at least. Well, just adding pressure with this rook. Or maybe with the other rook was better. Because if knight d5 now, it's e4. And e4, it's quite logical. Knight d7 becomes vulnerable. Maybe knight d6. Okay, so rook f5. And then what? Interesting solution. So is this pawn lost? Queen d7 is a blunder, obviously. So queen d6 or queen d4? I think queen d6. But queen d6, queen c7. Queen e4, well, still this. There is a sacrifice, but king takes, check, king goes back, and you can take the knight, so I don't think there is a compensation. Yeah, it seems that with queen g5 or queen c7, white loses the second pawn. Queen g5. Yeah, queen g5. So now, well, rook d7, and there is rook c1. Well, rook c1 is not a problem. King f2 just, but knight e5 can be the problem, and then rook g3 maybe. And then how to play with this queen? No, this move loses there. So with a queen, I think they take with a queen. Because with rook f1, white is not threatening to take on f7. Of course, white shouldn't exchange the queens. Why so? Because with queens on the board, there are better chances to create any problems to the black's position. Because if the queens are exchanged, it's a simple end game where black realizes his material advantage. So queen a6, logical, but well, you can take it there also. Yeah, I think it does make sense. There can be a check, so rook f7, queen b8. Something like that. Ah, bishop c2, so rook g3 is a must. No, queen a4, you just blunder on g2, then on h2, and so on. No, that's all. So 5 minutes left. No more games. And what? Do we have to stay and wait? Okay. This is arena, so it's possible to play with the same player one more time. Okay, so it seems that our tournament is over. I lost one, I win one, I won one, and no, I lost 2 games. I lost 2 games. Yeah, and won one. And because we don't have significant, we don't have time to play it, so let's finish our tournament today. Today it's a little shorter. So what I can do is I can